now, the breakdown.
Cars, campers, and jet skis, rings, diamonds, and G's, spa days and vacations. I can't describe all the joy that it brings. I love my things. Yes.
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go.
Free your mind. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so.
That's right. I'm proud to be a Southern girl. I'ma take you back a little bit. Where? Back to Texas, where everything is bigger. Woo! Come on now. I'm a Southern girl. 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 I'm a Southern.
Throughout the history of the United States, the construct of racism was created specifically to oppress black people, to try to suppress our determination to achieve liberation. Like Angela Davis said, it's built into the system.
Nowadays I can't believe what's going on in front of me. I don't wanna watch TV and find another casualty. I don't wanna read the news. My heart's already black and blue. I'm putting on my combat boots, cause I got an attitude. We're like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore. Cause for so long we've been patient, now we're done. And don't you even ask me when did I become such an angry black woman. Every day
in a process of healing.
It's time to change.
Need to mind their business.
Hey, say ni hao. Ni hao. Ni hao up inside. You know how we do it. EnVogue style. Inside. What
up? Listen to me. Cindy, how long has Amanda been gone? Excuse me, Terry.
When you put,
I'm sorry, Terry.
You remember Cindy was in Juice, right?
Yeah.
You got the juice now.
Back, I was like, oh my God, like, Stevie, come on, can you see?
Oh my God. You know what? I think we better go before Dawn gets us on America's Most Wanted.
If I remember correctly, come on, left us and went on another major tour.
Well, you know, because you know, you real talented.
Tony, tell the truth. You
Gonna go and see what they got for me.
Oh, that's
'Cause
pretty.
it's all for me.
She's the commissary.
Everything I got in there is for me.
To the commissary.
Rona and Terry are single. Cindy, you've held down a tribe for years.
Yes, I
got a
have.
man, though.
She's a phenomenal woman.
Gentlemen,
And get out and vote.
legend and vote.
Please go vote.
That's it. Get out.
I hope you enjoyed me on Rock Live. I was good, wasn't I? Only in his dreams. Come on. I could do a guest spot. Oh, I'm... Look at it. What you talking about?
I've heard a boatload of other ladies rap. These girls right here, they got nothing on me.
Prejudice wrote a song about it. Want to hear it?
That was Terry.
Terry Ellis.
That's Terry.
That was Terry.
One of her many characters.
Yeah.
Smell like
60 drops in 2 ounces of water.
What is your job?
To close the door.
Okay.
Close it.
Close it. Good job.
They were so soulful and sultry, and they just had that thing, and I knew I didn't have it, and I was like,
Get on, back up on me. Get on, just get on.
I was gonna be finished, but I didn't finish.
Okay, fine. Well, that's fine. I'm sorry.
Yep, it says that. That's what it says right there. Sounds like a new high on the low. Well, it says that too. Starring May EnVogue.
Amber?
No.
Oh!
There we go. I don't have a lot to say. Come to see Terry. That's Terry, Cindy, Ron.
We can talk. I don't know why people don't like talking to me. I don't bite, I don't think. Terry Ellis will tell you I don't bite, you know. So anyway.
She's a lady, sophisticated lady, mother of mankind. Ooh, she's so divine, like a diamond in the rough. She's sweet, but she's tough. She's meek, she's mild, takes care of business with a smile. The warm attitude, so cool when you're rude, sweet when she'll break down. Do her wrong, she'll dismiss ya with such style and such grace. She brings class to the place. When she walks through the room, you'll have to assume that she's a
Yes.
Wait here. Ndabeze.
Shaka.
So, you have deceived me. Just as you deceived my father.
Shaka.
I have made you Queen of Queens, the most powerful woman in this land, in the world. But that was not enough for you, mother. You wanted more.
I love you, Shaka.
Love. Love. We are incapable of that emotion, mother. All that we felt, all we ever felt is vengeance and hate. Hate. Hate.
Shaka.
And I am the product of your hatred.
No.
Just as he is the product of my hatred.
No. No. He is the future. Through him your name will live forever.
No, mother. There can be no future without Shaka.
Yebo Nkosi.
I'm sorry.
No. No. He is the future. Through him your name will live forever.
No, mother. There can be no future without Shaka.
Shaka Zulu. There was a movie called Shaka Zulu. And Shaka, in the movie, Shaka really didn't care too much about nothing. Shaka just cared about killing. Killing and ruling people. He a slave master. That's all Shaka cared about. Shaka didn't even care nothing about Putang. in the movie, Shaka didn't even care about Putang. Shaka just cared about ruling people and killing folks. And then one of his female servants got to Shaka. And, you know, Shaka's still a man. Yeah. And she got to kissing on him and feeling on him. I guess Shaka said, oh, you know how it is. Shaka like, woo, yeah. Next thing you know, Shaka on top of her. Later on, the servant female tell Shaka's mother that she's pregnant. But the mama already know that Shaka ain't with that. So they're going to hide the child from Shaka. And one day Shaka found out that he had a son, had a baby. Found out his mother was hiding the child away from him. And the mother told Shaka, this is our future. This is the new. And Shaka said, there's no future, mother, without Shaka. See how, what did he say? There's no future, mother, without Shaka. How selfish can, that's our, woo, perfect example of our attitude. There's no freedom. There's no liberation unless the Nation of Islam do it. There's no freedom unless the Moorish Science Temple do it. There's no freedom unless Jesus can fix it. There's no liberation unless Yahweh do it, the Israelites. That's us. How selfish. There's no future, mother, without Shaka. And then he slapped his mother in the face, which caused her brain to hemorrhage. That's how hard he hit his mother, and he killed his mother. And Shaka took the baby and had the baby killed. That's us. That's our attitude. They want me dead because I represent the new. Slap reality. Slap the mother. Take the baby. Kill it. That's the attitude that they have. And then Shaka killed his mother. And the reason why Shaka did the things that he done was because of his mother. And he spent all his life protecting his mother. And he was the one that took his mother's life. And then Shaka went insane. Those of you who saw the movie, Shaka Zulu, 1977, 1978, something like that. I love that film myself. Shaka went insane. Just started killing his people, burning stuff. He just went nuts. And then the people had to stop him. And Shaka knew he was crazy. And he went to the elders and put out his chest. Well, elders, my fate is in your hands. And they killed Shaka, according to the movie. The people, if you want to survive, if you want to live, you have to kill these people. I'm not talking about physically. You got to get all this stuff out of your mind, get rid of all of it. Because they're stopping you from going into the future. And they are back shizit crazy. They're insane. They think they're talking some good stuff. These people are insane. And the average brother and sister on the street listen to all what they talk about. Them people crazy as hell. They are the ones. All this black spiritual religion, all that stuff. That's what's stopping us from our rise. They're keeping you from your future. Keeping you from your potential. Because if you don't follow them, there's no future without Shaka. There are some male animals that would kill their babies, especially the male babies, because there's no future. They only want what they done to live. And the mother had to protect the babies from their father, because the father want to kill the babies, especially the male. Because I'm the only male. There's no future without Shaka. Animal crazy as hell. So if you leave it up to that type of mindset, we go extinct. Because no future is extinction. Any animal that's extinct had no future. They're extinct. Behold, I make all things new, and the former things shall pass away. Some of you out there, you have bought you a new car. And you happy? Hey, Dickett, I bought me a new car. Come check it out. Now, a used car, we would call a new car, but it's not like a for real new car. A used car means somebody else has drove the car. Pre-owned means somebody else have driven the car. No, Deacon, hey twin, hey Mello, come on. We're going to take a ride in my new car. It only got 15 miles on it. My new car. I'm the owner. Nobody else drove this car. It's never been used by nobody else. It's new. Did you hear what I said? It has not been used by nobody else. It's a new car. Used car, pre-owned car. Look.
Everybody join.
Finally, Shabazz could no longer hold back 35 years of anguish.
Indeed, the FBI probably had something to do with it. But we have to say that adult men between the ages of 20 and 40, black faces, who chose to put a trigger in their hands and unload until it was empty, have to be culpable. You can't keep pointing the finger because my father was not killed from a grassy knoll. And I have sisters who are spun out into this environment as tumbleweed, unhealed. We knew to stay silent because as a child, I thought it could happen to me. that if I spoke up or said something, they'd take my mother, they'd take one of us. I got to hear reports of the traitor deserved it, so it never could go away. Those reports didn't come from the government. Those reports did not come from the police. They came from the tan and brown and black faces that once claimed themselves as family members.
Nobody takes down Angelsnupnup7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angelsnupnup7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angelsnupnup7. But you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecued. I want to challenge. I want to challenge Pan-Africanism. I want to challenge the Hebrew Israelites. I want to challenge Sinetta TV, all those scholars. I want to challenge Young Fat. I want to challenge Rizza Islam. I want to challenge Nuri Muhammad, Brother BNX. I want to challenge the Black conscious community. I offer this challenge. I will even challenge those who've been here before. But see, they children. And it's very difficult to have a conversation with a child because when they get caught up, and you know how we do it here, it's like a courtroom. They can't handle the heat. So they turn to name calling and other crap. Like the little fella that came here a week or so ago. He started falling apart. He was on Facebook with his chest all poked out or whatever. But in the real world, see, they're not used to the real world. When you come here, this is the real world. All that huffing and puffing and all that emotional rhetoric, that don't work here. And you claim you got all this research and scholarship and we'll bring it then. That might work in your world. That don't work in the real world. You know how we do it here. Like a courtroom. And nobody disrespect nobody. I know how to be quiet. These people can't even be quiet. I can sit, take my notes, and wait my turn. These people so childish. I sat back in the cut, didn't say nothing. Soon as I say something they don't like, wait a minute, blah, blah. What you talking for? Because we're going to destroy your kindergarten beliefs, your teachings. And it's easy to do. You can't do nothing with us except complain. You cannot expose Angelsnupnup7. You cannot destroy what we bring here. Because it's reality. You can't do nothing with reality. Either you accept reality or you in denial. Take your denial ass back to where you come from because you'll never get that stuff off here. I refuse to let some people who suffer from mental disorder, hallucinations, to come here and talk about they won. You can only pretend. If you actually debate Angelsnupnup7 and really show me that I was in error, I would give you your credit. I have no problem with that. Like the little fella, you got to pretend like you did something. What did you do? You a grown, what did he say? You a grown man. What they got to do anything? You supposed to be here, sir, to defend Elijah Muhammad and the teaching. And he brought no information to do, none. It's child. So I entertained the child. I already knew what we was dealing with. Child. All those people that come to my platform in the past was children. And they still children. Still spitting the same childish rhetoric. Still children. And they will huff and puff and say something about Angelsnupnup7. But when they come here and have to deal with me in person, it's a different ball game. You will either submit or take your childish ass on somewhere. Because you can't do nothing with it. This is reality here. This is us. Everything that I got come from us. It's not coming from Arabia. It's not coming from somebody's teaching that you got some foreigners. It all comes from the essence of us. What can you do? The only thing they do is come here and regurgitate. Talk about your God. Where your God at? Where your spiritual realm at? I've been waiting for them to bring this God and spiritual realm and all this hallucination, all this foolishness. Bring it to the channel. Bring your God. I will come to your live stream. Nobody's scared. I'm not scared of none of you. They don't have nothing that can challenge what we have here. They offer nothing original. Nothing of self-discovery. All their research and scholarship came from somebody else. A book they read from somebody else. That's their research. That's their opinion. That's their study. Keep sending me all these links. Somebody was telling me about the court system, about family court. I have sat in family court. It's free. Many of these courts, y'all can go to court. Most of us, it's too boring. We're not interested. We can watch some of it on TV. They're making these claims about family court or whatever, based upon some links, some stuff. It's easy for you to do. They never talk about their personal experience, their own personal research. You have people in your family that's married. You have people in your family, brothers that don't pay their child support. You have sisters, and other. You have relatives and friends. They don't talk about them. Do you? What do you know? I'm not talking about no link. I'm not talking about some survey they did with 100 people on the street. What do you? We act like we don't have a life. I have sat in family court. It's free, and you listen to the court cases all day. So what I'm telling you is based upon my hands-on personal experience, because I was in a court and I watched the various cases. There's no men lined up in family court trying to get custody of their children. I have not seen it. What I have seen and what I know are a bunch of men happy that a woman would deny or play games because he ain't interested anyway. That's the reality of it. I want to see my children. Okay, ask them what have they actually done to get custody or see their children. Nothing. I guarantee you, they've done nothing. There was a man, I believe in the 1990s, I forgot who he was. You can look it up. Alien Gonzalez, I believe that's what his name was. His mother and the son, Alien Gonzalez's mother, they was coming from Brazil somewhere, and the mother died. She drowned on the raft or whatever, and the little boy survived. They came from Cuba. Yeah, they came from Cuba. And the family here adopted, you know, they took in the little boy. And the father, I think he's still in Cuba. I believe it was Cuba. Alien Gonzalez. He's a grown man now. He was a little child back then. Okay. This man spent over 5 years fighting to get his son. And he finally got him. These men don't have a story like that. They love and hope that the woman in the court will keep them children with that female so he can go out and make more babies. Matter of fact, some of these guys will take care of other men's children because they messing with the mother and won't do nothing for them. Y'all know how things go. You know that what they talking about on social media is a bunch of bull doo-doo. These men don't like children like that. They happy. That's just an excuse. I want my children. You know, they don't want no children. This is what I see with my own eyes. I don't give a damn about your study or what Samuel, what's his name? May he rest in peace. Kevin Samuel said. I don't give a damn about that stuff. You see things with your own eyes. How you gonna deny what you see and experience with your own eyes? In your own family. Hell, you are involved. How you gonna deny that? Talk about a study. I read this book. What about, we act like we don't have no lives and we don't experience nothing. Hell, your own daddy is probably a deadbeat. Don't pay child support. Didn't give a damn about you. And you're gonna talk about defending these men. There's deadbeat mothers also. But most of the time, women will not abandon their children. That's not the norm. And there are single fathers. But that's the minority. We know how it rolls. I'm not going to defend these bums and give them an excuse. What I see with my own eyes. Go to court. There's no lies of no men, of no race. I'm trying to I got to have my children. They're not interested. They don't have no responsibility. They love that. Act like they don't have any children. Go to the next woman. Matter of fact, might tell the next woman, I don't have no children. Damn liar. You lie. So we don't do that. We don't live in the past. There was a meme on Facebook. When I was a child, I was with Dr. King. When I became an adult, I went to Malcolm. What did Malcolm, we love Malcolm X. What did Malcolm X do? We are living right now, what little it is, with Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement being able to change some laws and flip some things. And we are benefiting right now to this day. What are we living and benefiting from what Malcolm X and all this Pan-African stuff? What are we doing? Put it in the chat room. What are we? Because I might be ignorant. Let me know. And you see how they attack affirmative action. That was because of the action of Dr. King and those people. What are they attacking from Malcolm X? What are they attacking from all this Pan-African pro-black national movement stuff? They didn't produce nothing to attack, except a bunch of talk And that's all they doing right now is a bunch of talk. They ain't producing nothing. Put in the chat room what all this Pan-African black nationalism stuff that we benefit from then, how do we benefit now? Put in the chat room. We're not prejudiced. I might be ignorant because I tell you right now, I don't know it all. You might tell me something I don't know. All thing they did was talk. That's all they doing right now. Get up in the morning and make a damn video. The white man do this, the white man do that. And that's the same stuff they was doing, except in the 1960s, you run your mouth too much, you might get a bullet in the brain. But you ain't worried about that in 2023. You're not worried about that. They did. Now they did. They were victims of COINTELPRO. And they could get their brains blown out in the 1960s, but not now. You ain't worried about that. These Pan-Africans, they plan it on when they go into Red Lobster. And this was a very hot weekend, hot week.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. It's
my black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
In a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What, dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
yes.
That's your loss. Because we need all the brain power and intelligence that we can get. Unorthodox. Because they are used. Look how long you've been in this country. These people know how to deal with Christians. They know how to deal with y'all Muslims. They know how to deal with all this pro-blackity black stuff. They know how to deal with y'all. Who is the only one who they harass? Look, I'm on a channel. I have to keep putting on hide. I have to keep hiding my channel because they keep flagging me. Every time my channel gets 1,000 subscribers, they start flagging my channel. They're not doing that to Nation of Islam. They're not doing it to Brother Ben. They're not doing it to Rizza Islam. They're not doing it to Tariq Nasheed, Sanetta. They're only doing it to me. That should tell you something. This is a fact. A $1 billion corporation personally gets involved messing with a little guy. Why? You should think about it. Why they're not harassing you? How come they're not flagging your video? How come they're not bothering you? I should have. If YouTube did not flag my channel, I would probably have 100,000 subscribers. There was a time I was getting 300, at least 300, 400 subscribers every month. I should have 100,000 subscribers. You are damn lie when they say nobody listen to Angelsnupnup7. That's a damn lie. YouTube is the reason why I don't have 100,000 subscribers. I've been here since 2007. My videos would easily get 5,000 views. Especially the long videos. People actually was more attracted to my long videos than the short 15-minute video. That's amazing. So I guess somebody actually sit there and watch an hour or so of commentary rather than 15 minutes. There is no hate speech. We went to court over that. Google could not prove to the judge I was bringing hate speech. They could not do that. No. The threat is keeping it real. Being real. They don't care if you follow dead folks, the Honorable Aleeyah Muhammad and Noble Ali, and you put a tassel on your head and ponytail, and y'all pretend like you're going to do something Black Panther Party, hup, ho, hup, ho, ho. They don't care about all that phony type stuff. Here you are, we keeping it real. Here we are, finally found the purpose, the goal, the vision, the plan to get a job done. To create a safe haven sanctuary state for yourself. Nobody talking like we do here. Nobody. They either beefing or keep repeating old ass knowledge that should have been passed away a long time ago. All your books and all these reading, for what? They're not bothering them because they're not accomplishing nothing. They see they're not doing nothing and can't do nothing. Google know that most of these people are just here for the money. They don't give a damn about our condition. They're here for the money. They harass me. All these years, harass me. Because they see the real threat. We are slaves, have a slave mind. And a slave don't give a damn about the new.
We sell soul food. As a matter of fact, we've been told that Old Henry's is one of the few soul food restaurants in the city of St. Louis, in the state, and in the Midwest. We plan to start our food truck next month.
Okay.
Want that food truck to go all over.
Alrighty then.
So if we get the exposure, and we're already taking orders for events. We just took an order for July 31st. We took an order for July 29th. There's a guy who has a construction company. He owns quite a few of them, and we're going to be going to their sites and serving food, serving lunch, and we got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
All right.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm Angelsnupnup7. This is my friend
Ada Taylor.
Ada Taylor. This is Old Henry Restaurant. If you're ever in the St. Louis area, come check them out. We had a good time just celebrating my sister's birthday, and everything was A-OK.
All right. All right. Thank you.
You up. let me get my 2 cents in on these random topics and call it a day. I'm very sure some of you, and I have been told by Moorish and Nation of Islam type folks, they make a claim that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. But the Quran says that Allah gave it to the Arabs, not to you. You were nowhere around, you didn't exist. Allah gave the Quran to them as a religion. It's a religion. That's what the Quran said. You can debate and argue with the Quran. Gave it to you as a religion. And then there's a surah in the Quran where it talks about something to the effect about being able to measure something. So that's supposed to be mathematics. But it did not say, there's nowhere in the Quran where it says that Islam is mathematics. It said Islam uses mathematics. It did not say Islam is mathematics. The Quran said clearly it's a religion. Let's say that it is mathematics. All mathematics, trigonometry, geometry, or whatever, you can put it all on paper as an equation. And those things help you build something and solve something. Show me your Islamic mathematics on paper. Then we don't have to have this conversation no more. Do they teach Islamic mathematics in Mecca, Arabia, Saudi Arabia? Do a Google search for Quranic or Islamic mathematics. Since Islam is mathematics, mathematics, some form of mathematics has been used all over the earth way before the Quran. No, teach me. I'm open to be taught. Because I have never heard of such a thing. So if Islam is mathematics, show us on paper. Do a Islamic mathematical equation on paper. Because all mathematics can be put on paper. All mathematics is an equation that you can put on paper. What is Islam? Is it trigonometry, geometry, algebra? What the hell? What kind of mathematics is it? Because there's different kinds of mathematics. What is it? It's saying that they are using mathematics. Not that Islam is, because the Quran again says clearly, I gave it to you as a religion. You don't have to believe in 1 + 1 = 2. You can take 1 + 1 = 2 all over the earth and it would be accepted. You're not going to take the Quran all over the earth and it's going to be accepted because it's a belief. Could be not. Speculation and assumption is belief. It's not factual. It is a fact. Using this measuring process, 1 + 1 = 2. And the various forms of mathematics that is also included in the science. The reason why not only Islam, but Christianity is trying to find stuff in science, mathematics, to try to make them valid. You are not valid. It's a belief. This is not to say that you don't have some facts. There is wisdom and truth in Islam. There's wisdom and truth in Christianity. There's wisdom and truth and facts in the belief system. But as the belief system, it's a belief system. Either you believe it or you don't. It's not facts. I always look for the wisdom in religious teaching because that's where I come from. I can't make it go away, but now I know this is what I can keep and I can throw that stuff away. Eat the fruit, throw away the seeds. But you want to eat the seeds, the peels, the tree, everything. Ooh, this apple, the whole apple tree, I just eat the whole apple, everything is good. No, it's not. You believe it's all good. That's why it's a belief. I believe it's this week they were talking about UFOs, unidentified flying object. Those of you who are familiar with Nation of Islam teachings, they talk about the mother plane. So they get very excited when the news start talking about UFO. They get excited because that's proof that their mother plane exists. The mother plane that has done nothing for them over 90 years. The mother plane has never visited not one Muhammad Mosque temple of Islam nowhere on the earth. You would think that at least the mothership out of 90 years, especially when the Honorable Ellis Muhammad was here, you would think that at least one time, one of those UFOs would fly directly on top of Chicago headquarters and just hover there so everybody can see. So everybody can say, like, damn, y'all. We don't really know what that is, but there was a flying saucer over Muhammad Temple of Mas Mariam, Temple number 2. Everybody, the mayor, everybody in the neighborhood saw this big spaceship just sitting on top, hovering over. Now, that's the kind of proof you need. Now, that's the kind of proof that you need. People. It's called unidentified flying object. That means we don't know what the hell it is. We just know that it's out there flying around and we don't know what it is. It's unidentified. We don't know. We can't call it a mother plane. We don't know what the hell it is. Also, you have people, you have the military, and also you have the private sector. They always experiment and flying different stuff out there all the time also. And a lot of the times when they do identify the unidentified flying object, they find out it was made in China, made in Russia, made in America. Somebody built it. It's not no aliens. It ain't no damn tribe of Shabazz. None of that stuff. But y'all want to believe that. So Islam is mathematics. You want to use that to try to make your belief credible. Belief is a belief. Either you believe or you don't. You don't need to go out and try to find some kind of science, some kind of facts. It's a belief. How do facts back up belief? If you have facts, there would be no need to believe. Duh. But they do that to try to make their belief credible. Well, Brother Taalik is you see, it says here in the Bible that there will be wars and rumors of wars. And right here in the Bible, look at what's going on, the war in Ukraine, and it's been wars and rumors of wars for the last some 1,000 years. Now, I got you there. I got you there, Brother Taalik. I got you there. The Honorable Elisha Muhammad said that God controls the weather, and look at all the hurricanes and the snowstorms and the mudslides. They've been doing that for generations. There's nothing out of the ordinary that's happening here. Some of these things are man-made. When you take trees and you burn up the grass, and when you do different things to the environment and you dam up rivers, a lot of this stuff is man-made. And you're polluting the air, all kinds of chemicals running around in the atmosphere. Has nothing to do with your Bible. And then the sad thing about it, when it floods, when there's a blizzard, or whatever happening, it killed everybody. The Muslims, the Christians, the Buddhists, it killed all of y'all God-loving folks. So I don't know what the hell you happy about something coming true, because your ass gonna get it too. But again, unlike these folks, I can say I could be wrong. Show me an Islamic mathematical, a Quranic mathematical equation since
by brother Angelsnupnup7 at the Reality Temple. And to give props to him, because I listened to all of Angelsnupnup7's videos. I think that he comes from a different angle, and there's a powerful message in a lot of the videos that he put out, and I try to catch all of them. I look at him as a free thinker and a person that's willing to challenge those of which he don't agree with or which he may think differently from, and I really respect him for that. He's challenged KNBS, and he has also challenged the black supremacy movement as well. And I have nothing against that, because that which cannot be challenged cannot stand and will not stand and will not survive the test of time. How many challenges we can withstand will determine how long we will be able to stand. I want to start my own. The brother got on my website today and said we need a Pan-African channel. I totally agree. I was working on starting my own video streaming page where you can just load all your videos up there of no time, no censorship. Because if you notice on my website now, it's limited to 100 megabytes. Due to the servers, due to the carrier, the videos can only be no more than 100 megabytes. I'm tired of YouTube. Too many times they're destroying our pages. They don't want to see this movement grow on YouTube. You see some of my videos and you look at them and they like got 10 views, 20 views. That's not because, and then people will look at that and they'll make them think, oh, he's not getting the views. No, I have so many YouTube pages destroyed that they don't want to see me effectively and successfully build up this momentum and stream of people watching my videos. I'm just as big as the bigger people on YouTube, but you cannot see it because they make it that way by constantly destroying my pages to destroy the momentum that I am building up on YouTube. So it's not going to work on YouTube. You all see how long I've been on YouTube. No one has been more resilient, pushing more harder on YouTube than I have. I must add, brother Angelsnupnup7, brother Taalik Ibn'rad. Many of you have not heard of him, and it's a reason for that you haven't heard of brothers like that who's coming with a profound message. Every day this brother does like an hour dissertation on YouTube. But no one's hearing him. His message is not getting out. Powerful message. More powerful than most messages that are out there. Very real, very radical, very sincere, very diligent, very consistent, and very little hypocrisy in what he speaks. At least he's true and sincere about what he's talking about. He's not doing it for money, selling no projects, selling no products, trying to do lectures. He's actually coming on there, offering some critical thought and critical analysis every day consistently, but most people have not heard of him. Not because he's lazy. I see him. He got thousands of YouTube pages. I see him constantly putting out videos, but you haven't heard of him. That's by design. That's by design of white supremacy. That's because you all want to hear the popular message and not the real and raw message. And YouTube makes sure of that. They make sure that they can constantly stomp out your Messiah. They let the Messiah get further enough just for you to hear who the Messiahs are. And as soon as you hear them, bam, they cut off. Damn, job well done. So we have to create our own sites.
Yes, it is true that black men pull the trigger. We cannot deny any responsibility in this. Where we are responsible, where our hands are a part of this, we beg God's mercy and forgiveness.
I wanna talk to
I know who the enemy is.
I wanna talk.
You wasting your time making mockery of me. Oh, I'm crazy. My brain is damaged. My EnVogue poster. I'm miserable in my life. All this nonsense that you talk about. And you a slave, just like me, in a racist nation.
I believe that with you by my side, together we can touch the skies.
But the current leader of the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, has long been suspected as the instigator, the behind-the-scenes force who triggered the killing. Malcolm's late widow believed that, as do his children to this day.
I did not know if I wanted to sit across from him. I didn't know if my heart could handle it.
Didn't know if she could sit with a man she still holds responsible for her father's death. Confronting Minister Farrakhan would not be easy, and for strength, she told us, she summoned the memory of her parents.
Before I came here, I prayed and included my parents. They had to walk with me to the airport. They had to get me out of that hotel and into the property here.
You see, Aleeyah Shabazz was there in the Audubon Ballroom in 1965 in New York.
Miss Shabazz, for several months, I carried the picture of your father with all of these bullet holes. in his chest. Miss Shabazz, for several months, I carried the picture of your father with all of these bullet holes in his chest.
In 1964, Malcolm X broke with the Nation of Islam to form his own organization based on orthodox Muslim principles, which include a respect for all races and religions. And how did Louis Farrakhan react? He began writing incendiary editorials in the Nation of Islam's newspaper. Let me read you what you wrote in December of 1964. The die is set, and Malcolm shall not escape, especially after such evil, foolish talk about his benefactor, Elijah Muhammad, in trying to rob him of the divine glory which Allah has bestowed upon him. Such a man as Malcolm is worthy of death. This was only 2 months before he was shot down. That is why people believe that you were responsible for the death of Malcolm X. But in February of 1965, while the family was asleep, Malcolm's home in New York was firebombed, and just 1 week later, 39-year-old Malcolm X was gunned down by members of the Nation of Islam. But there are those who still believe the government had a hand in Malcolm's death. Although for decades he's tried to distance himself from the actual murder, just 7 years ago he was still charging that Malcolm had deserved punishment.
And if we've dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours?
But although for decades he's tried to distance himself from the actual murder, just 7 years ago he was still charging that Malcolm had deserved punishment.
And if we've dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours?
But
we are in a process of healing.
It's alright. I'll make sure we have ourselves a good time.
The Deacons of Reality put out a short video and talk about winning. I don't like losing. I really don't. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game.
Patience come, gotta move along. Know when to play, it's time to win. Don't criticize, try to realize I'm number one in the end. Oh, I'm made to win. That's the color of success. I play to win. Oh, I made to win. There's no other color of success. I play to win. Oh, I free as a bird. It's time to spread the word.
I don't like losing. I really don't.
The sun is shining.
I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game. Because you're a loser. Of course it's not but a game because you're a loser. Anybody that play any game, you play the game because you want to win. Nobody plays a game to be a loser. Nobody.
And the cow was returned to its rightful owner. In today's entertainment news.
That is correct.
Adultery.
That is correct. Fornication was worthy of expulsion.
But in 1963, Malcolm X learned that Elijah Muhammad himself had repeatedly committed adultery with some of his teenage secretaries and had children with them. Malcolm agonized over his discovery, and in June of 1964, he told me about it. And he called some of these women who were living in Los Angeles at the time and let me listen to the conversation. And it became apparent that he was telling the truth. He told you about that, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation. The ability to control your own resources. Your politics. The law. Be able to do your own thing for a chance. Create an economy. Create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You're fake, you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi campaign.
Self
and you don't realize it. You don't realize it, that God has been imprisoned. The devil was able to imprison God. So right inside your own self, your God self has been imprisoned, and you have a false sense of self running rampant inside the temple. This is why, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to bring reality's temple here on earth. Reality's temple here on earth.
Yes, sir.
We have to realize the enemy is running rampant inside this temple.
And that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
I want to win. I'm a superstar. I'm putting up 30, 40 points a game.
I wanna talk to you.
Why I don't have a ring yet?
I wanna talk to you. Just
You still have to learn how to win, because basketball and soccer and racism is a team sport. What's the sense of trying to debate Angelsnupnup7? There's many people, they want to debate and get angry at me. You can't debate me. You're cut and paste.
Show me the way to the future, 'cause I am tired of the past. Some of us are just used to existing. We all know it can last. You better make up your mind now. Don't take too long on a stone. Let's put together
He was arrested in 1946 while attempting to retrieve a stolen watch from a repair shop and was sentenced to 8 to 10 years in Charlestown State Prison for larceny and breaking and entering. He was later transferred to Norfolk Prison Colony in Massachusetts. During Malcolm's imprisonment, he crossed paths with John Bembry, a fellow inmate who impressed him with his commanding use of language and self-education, earning him Malcolm's respect. Through Bembry's influence, Malcolm developed a thirst for knowledge and reading. Around this time, his siblings wrote to him about the Nation of Islam, a religious movement advocating for black self-reliance and the repatriation of the African diaspora to Africa to escape white domination. Initially uninterested, Malcolm's brother Reginald urged him to stop smoking and eating pork. Malcolm wrote to Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, in late 1948 to seek advice. Muhammad instructed him to renounce his past and pray to God, promising to avoid destructive behavior. Malcolm struggled before praying, but eventually became a member of the Nation of Islam and maintained regular correspondence with Muhammad. In 1950, the FBI opened a file on him after he wrote a letter to President Truman expressing opposition to the Korean War and identifying as a communist. Around the same time, he changed his name to Malcolm X on Muhammad's orders, which involved leaving behind his family name and adopting X until the Muslim's original name was revealed. Malcolm X believed that the X symbolized the African family name he could never know. So after being released from prison in August 1952, Malcolm X made his way to Chicago to meet with Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam. From there, he was named assistant minister at the Nation's Temple No. 1 in Detroit in June 1953. Later that year, he established the Nation's Temple No. 11 in Boston and expanded Temple No. 12 in Philadelphia in March. 2 months later, he was chosen to lead Temple No. 7 in Harlem, where he quickly increased its membership. The FBI started keeping an eye on Malcolm X in 1953, but shifted their focus from his possible communist ties to his rapid rise in the Nation of Islam. Despite their surveillance, Malcolm X continued to successfully recruit members for the Nation of Islam in 1955. He established temples in Springfield, Massachusetts, No. 13, Hartford, Connecticut, No. 14, and Atlanta, No. 15, with hundreds of African Americans joining every month. In addition to his impressive speaking skills, Malcolm X had a striking physical presence. He was 6 foot 3 inches tall and weighed around 180 pounds. Writers have described him as powerfully built and mesmerizingly handsome, always impeccably groomed. Malcolm X came into the national spotlight in 1957 following an incident involving one of his fellow Nation of Islam members, Hinton Johnson. On April 26 of that year, Johnson and 2 other Nation of Islam members saw 2 New York City police officers beating an African-American man with nightsticks. When they tried to intervene and told the officers that they were not in Alabama but in New York, one of the officers turned on Johnson, beating him so badly that he suffered brain contusions. All 4 African-American men, including Johnson, were subsequently arrested. This incident brought attention to police brutality and racism in the North and led to increased public interest in the Nation of Islam and its message. He commandeered a large protest which caused a police officer to comment to the New York Amsterdam News that no one man should have that much power. This led to the New York City Police Department monitoring Malcolm X within a month. The police department also contacted authorities in other cities where he had lived or served time in prison. Despite the surveillance, a grand jury did not indict the officers who beat Johnson. Malcolm X sent an angry telegram to the police commissioner in October, and the police department responded by assigning undercover officers to infiltrate the Nation of Islam. During the late 1950s, Malcolm X began to use a new name, Malcolm Shabazz or Malik el-Shabazz. However, he continued to be known as Malcolm X. His views on various issues and events were frequently reported in the media, both in print and on television. He was even featured in a 1959 New York City television broadcast about the Nation of Islam called The Hate That Hate Produced. In September 1960, Malcolm X attended the United Nations General Assembly in New York City, where he was invited to the official functions of several African nations. He had the opportunity to meet with important figures such as Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, Ahmed Sekou Touré of Guinea, and Kenneth Kwanda of the Zambian African National Congress. During the assembly, Fidel Castro also made an appearance, and Malcolm X was part of the Harlem community leaders who welcomed him publicly. Castro was impressed with Malcolm X, and they even had a private meeting that lasted for 2 hours. By the end of their conversation, Castro invited Malcolm X to visit Cuba. Between 1965 and 1975, the Nation of Islam experienced a resurgence, and Malcolm X became its most prominent leader. He held the position of minister at Temple No. 7 in Harlem, and was also responsible for organizing several other temples around the country. During this time, he developed a close relationship with Elijah Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam. In 1964, Malcolm left the Nation of Islam and converted to Sunni Islam, changing his name to El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. He made a pilgrimage to Mecca and discovered that Islam was not inherently racist. He also became more politically moderate, distancing himself from the Nation of Islam's separatist views. Malcolm's departure from the Nation of Islam was not smooth. Elijah Muhammad became increasingly concerned about Malcolm's growing popularity and his criticism of the nation's leadership. At the same time, Malcolm began to hear rumors of Elijah Muhammad's infidelities, which caused a rift between the two men. Malcolm X played a significant role in the Nation of Islam's rise in membership during the 1950s and 1960s, with estimates ranging from 500 to 75,000 members. He was considered the group's second most influential leader after Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm X's influence even extended to famous boxer Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., who he inspired to join the nation and change his name to Muhammad Ali. The two became close, and Ali even brought Malcolm X and his family to watch him train in Miami in 1964. One Night in Miami, the 2020 thought-provoking film adaptation of Kemp Powers' play, vividly explores the relationship between Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. After Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he attempted to persuade Ali to convert to Sunni Islam with him, but Ali instead cut ties with him, later admitting that it was one of his greatest regrets. Malcolm X also mentored Louis X, who later became known as Louis Farrakhan, and eventually rose to lead the Nation of Islam. Additionally, he served as a mentor and confidant to Elijah Muhammad's son, Wallace D. Muhammad, who expressed doubts about his father's teachings. Wallace was excommunicated from the Nation of Islam multiple times, but was eventually readmitted. Ultimately, Malcolm was silenced by the Nation of Islam and ultimately suspended from the organization. Despite this setback, Malcolm X's popularity with the media had grown significantly, and some members of the Nation of Islam felt that he posed a threat to Elijah Muhammad's authority. The interest of publishers in Malcolm X's autobiography was evidence of his appeal to the public. In 1963, Louis Lomax wrote a book about the nation titled When the Word is Given, which prominently featured a photograph of Malcolm X on the cover. Lomax also included 5 speeches by Malcolm X, while only featuring 1 by Elijah Muhammad, a fact that angered and made Muhammad envious. In a public announcement on March 8, 1964, Malcolm X declared his departure from the Nation of Islam. Despite remaining a Muslim, he believed that the organization's inflexible teachings had reached their limits. He shared his plans to establish a black nationalist group with the goal of raising the political awareness of African Americans. Malcolm X also expressed his eagerness to collaborate with other civil rights leaders, a move that Elijah Muhammad had previously prevented him from making. Malcolm X founded 2 organizations after leaving the Nation of Islam: the Muslim Mosque Inc., MMI, which focused on religion, and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, OAAU, a secular group that promoted Pan-Africanism. In March 1964, he had a brief encounter with Martin Luther King Jr. in Washington, D.C. during the Senate's discussion of the Civil Rights Bill, which was documented in photographs. Malcolm X delivered a speech in April called The Ballot or the Bullet, urging African Americans to exercise their right to vote wisely, but warning that violence might be necessary if the government continued to obstruct their full equality. Following his departure from the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X was introduced to the Sunni faith by several Sunni Muslims, and he soon converted. So in 1964, things got really intense for Malcolm X as he continued to have conflicts with the Nation of Islam. He received repeated threats throughout the year. In February, someone from Temple No. 7 actually bombed his car. And in March, Elijah Muhammad was recorded saying that hypocrites like Malcolm should have their heads cut off. Then in April, Muhammad Speaks published a cartoon showing Malcolm X's severed head, bouncing around. The threats didn't stop there. In June, Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife, received a call saying her husband was as good as dead. And just 4 days later, an FBI informant was tipped off that Malcolm X was going to be killed. On top of that, the nation sued to take back Malcolm X's home in East Elmhurst, and his family was ordered to leave. But the night before the hearing to postpone the eviction, the house was set on fire and destroyed. Things just kept escalating. In July, John Ali, who was suspected of being an undercover FBI agent, said that anyone who opposes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad puts their life in jeopardy. And in December, Muhammad Speaks published an article saying that such a man as Malcolm is worthy of death. Despite all of this, Malcolm X continued to stand up for what he believed in. In fact, Ebony magazine published a photo of him in September of that year holding an M1 carbine and looking out a window as a way to show his defiance in the face of these threats. In 1965, Malcolm X stated in an interview with Gordon Parks that he believed the Nation of Islam was attempting to assassinate him. Just 2 days later, while preparing to speak at the Organization of Afro-American Unity in New York, chaos erupted in the audience. As Malcolm X and his bodyguards attempted to calm the situation, a man rushed forward and shot him once in the chest with a sawed-off shotgun. 2 other men charged the station and fired semi-automatic handguns. Malcolm was rushed to Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, but died at 3:30 p.m. the same day. The autopsy revealed that he had suffered 21 gunshot wounds, including 10 from the initial shotgun blast.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me.
I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemies are white people, not Vietcong's or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
No, I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago. And I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody.
Seems to me that white America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil. America freed the slave in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation, but gave the slaves no land. And at the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
I'm saying that the Nation of Islam should evolve into what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth. You don't need no Arab hand-me-down religion. You don't even need God. You don't need these things. That's good for us in our infancy, in our immaturity, when we was babies. But as we grow and mature, and even in religion itself, it says that we are the children of God. Children can't stay children forever. Children must become adults. So if we are the children of God, that means we become God. Act like God, move like God, and have the responsibility of a God. I want to win. I'm a superstar. I'm putting up 30, 40 points a game.
I want to talk to you.
Why I don't have a ring yet?
I want to talk to you. Just wait.
You still have to learn how to win, because basketball and soccer and racism is a team sport. The Deacons of Reality put out a short video and talk about winning. I don't like losing. I really don't. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game.
Patience come, gotta move along. No one to blame, it's time to win. Don't criticize, try to realize I'm number one in the end. Oh, that's the color of success. I play to win. Oh, there's no other color of success. I play to win. Free as a bird, it's time to spread the word.
I don't like losing. I really don't. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game. Because you're a loser. Of course it's not but a game because you're a loser. Anybody that play any game, you play the game because you want to win. Nobody plays a game to be a loser. Nobody.
And the cow was returned to its rightful owner. In today's entertainment news.
Nobody takes down Angelsnupnup7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angelsnupnup7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angelsnupnup7. But you don't take me seriously.
It's so good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. When you get a chance, look up Soul Liberation Day, December 7th. Oh, that's right around the corner. The transformation. Bless up. Bless up. Thank you for that. Let's see. Taalik says, can you send a shout out to my platform, the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry? Our theme this year is After Purge Comes the Healing. Shout out to your platform, Taalik. All the best to you guys with continuing to stretch in perspective, to stretch in what is possible, and to continue to bring healing into the space of yourself and others. Yes.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me. Like at the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire at reality's temple. Reality's temple. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving me. Like at the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire.
Couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so.
Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Realities Temple on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. When I first saw your channel, I said, oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned.
Yes,
Most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, "What is he talking about?"
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
If you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people, excuse the language, some people just like talking out their ass. 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 That's what they like to do.
Peace forever and always. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
Greetings. I'm Angelica Cox. I had the pleasure of speaking with Taalik, Ibn'rad, and you know, he has a movement / ministry by the name of the Reality Temple on Earth, and I had the pleasure of speaking with him for several hours today, and I think it's only fair that I do a reaction video to the conversation. And the conversation was on various topics, which was basically centered around African quote-unquote consciousness. And he was a real deep brother, very down to earth, very approachable. He didn't carry himself like a know-it-all. Someone you could talk to and really listen to you. It was such an honor to finally meet somebody over the internet that has a ear to listen, and not only an ear to listen, but will take full action on what they stand for. And I appreciated having that conversation with you, and I do look forward to working with you.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. All Congress, why do y'all want the drug? You want the drug because smoking cigarettes make you feel good. Drinking beer make you feel good. Crack cocaine make you feel good. Meth make you feel good. The drug give you pleasure. The drug make you feel good. That's why they do it. The people suffer from low self-esteem. The people living in horrible conditions. Light bill, gas bill, rent. I'm not making enough money. All these children. Give me some beer. Give me some alcohol. Give me some liquor. Give me some weed. I gotta get away from this too much going on. 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 You shouldn't give them no power. You'll really be in trouble. So you're going to go to the white man and tell him, because you're a low-down, dirty dog, he got my video. He got my video. And of course, you two know that it's me. You two know me. We've been to court together. And I would take to Huckabee court. Now, to my knowledge, all this talking about defamation lawsuit, he's going to sue Taalik Nasheed for defamation and assault and all this. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. But I guarantee you, if I got your address, and I think somebody can probably get it for me, because I heard that there's a Templar that people know where you live. You will be going to court. I will take you to court. We're going to go to court. I will sue you for harassment because the only reason why you flag my channel because you don't like what somebody said. And I know I can convince the judge because I'm in the video. You're going to flag a video, I'm in the video. So actually, I'm like a co-owner. I'm in the video. How the hell you going to flag a video and I'm in the video? I'm on the panel. Stupid, stupid people. Because you mad. You can't control your emotion. See, that's another thing. These people can't control that. They get so emotional over everything. Maybe the reason why you get so angry and upset is because what people say is true. So you think if you flag my video, it's going to stop me. If you flag other people's videos or whatever, because I'm not using your ragged ass material. Because you don't have nothing to offer. You never had nothing to offer. I was doing you a favor. Anybody channel that I came to visit, I was doing you a favor. Bringing you some real, bringing you a solution. Breaking you out of this redundancy of following the dead. Malcolm X is dead, y'all. People get upset. They get upset because I talk about them following. They are dead. And since you're not a critical thinker, you can't think for yourself. You're trying to move on the crumbs that a dead man left. People in the church trying to act on something from 2,000 years ago. From a dead-ass Bible, the dead-ass Quran. Everybody in the Bible, everybody in the Quran is dead. They didn't exist to begin with. You're getting all these books and different things. A lot of the information is good, but at the same time, why do we revise books? Why do we update books? We update and revise books because something about the old knowledge is no longer in effect. It's no longer applicable. Let me say that again, and we're gonna call this an afternoon into the evening. When you buy a GPS is that little gadget. Some of you put it in your car, you put it in your truck. You have a GPS on your phone. But when you buy a GPS, they will tell you that you have a lifetime of free updates. Why is that? The GPS has to be updated because the highways, the roads and the streets are constantly changing. I have an old GPS, and for some reason it won't update anymore. And so there's a new bridge they built. And when I go over the new bridge, the old GPS, because it cannot update, got me driving in the river. It has me driving in the river, and it's telling me to make a left turn and a right turn. And then when I cross over the bridge, back where it has the information, then it's back to normal. The Quran and the Bible is not forever. It has to be updated. You have to look at things differently. It has to be revived. If you want to lean toward that, then you have to bring it up to date. 2,000 years is not up to date. Then, of course, what you say, what many people say, oh, well, hold it right there, Angel. That's the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God never changes. The wisdom of God is forever. In those books, those people was riding camels and mules. There was no computers. So why aren't you living that way? In the manner of God, because that's how they was living in those books, Bible and Quran. Why don't you live that way? Go back and live that way. We have a people in the United States called the Amish. And they live basically how Americans used to live back in the 1700s, 1800s or whatever. You don't want to do that. Actually, for us, that would be a better way of life. Actually, it would be. Living like the Amish. Getting off the grid. Stop tripping on certain fashion. Fancy cars and all this stuff. All this material garbage that we hooked on. The simple life. Some of you go visit your relatives out in the country, out in the rural areas. Woo, I'm a city person. You would rather live with the rats and the roaches and the filth of the city and the crime of the city than a clean environment. That's because you're dirty. You're nasty. Who wouldn't want to live in a cleaner environment? Instead of, you can't even get fresh air. There's no green grass. Few trees. People, you overcrowded. You would rather live in a violent, filthy environment than a rural area. And you talk about them. A lot of people that live in the rural environment, many of them, they grow their own food. They get their water out of a well. A lot of them are almost self-sufficient. You'd rather pay the water bill and the gas bill and the bill and the cable bill and all this nonsense. And you fill your mind with stupid stuff like all these dumbass YouTube videos. There was a time when families got together and talked about their day. And they work to grow their own food and gather the things that they need. And you know how to sew. And you know how to cook. And you know how to take care of yourself. And now you're dependent upon people that don't even like you. That's why they'll cut your gas off. That's why they'll cut your cable off. Because they don't give a damn about you. Pay me. Taalik Bey should be shaming himself. It's pitiful. you get out of it, sir? What do you get out of it? And then you're a representative. You're a representative of what a Moor is supposed to be. And you've proven yourself more stupid. Because you're a scammer too. Just in a different kind of way. People invest in you and you give them nothing in return. You take their little money so that you can live off of. Pay your bills. You give the people nothing. Like I said, I don't watch his video. He claimed these Moors was supposed to be opening some kind of homeless shelter for the people or whatever. You talking about Tariq Nasheed? What about the homeless shelter for the people you're supposed to be building? What are you doing in Baltimore? You riding the jock of another man. Real heavy. Like you love him. But again, the people that listen to you are just as sick as you are. The sick know the sick. But you want to go to court? For real? Keep messing with me. We will go to court for real. No talk. You will get a summons. You will come to court. And you will lose. How the hell you gonna flag a video? I'm in the video because I know I took down or I just put the audio so that you couldn't flag.
Yes. Listen, giving Mr. Carter and those kids a standing ovation. That was amazing. Amazing. Listen, giving Mr. Carter and those kids a standing ovation. That was amazing. Amazing.
Brush your teeth while you're up there. Robert Carter, now 33 and the owner of a Cincinnati hair salon, became a foster parent to 3 brothers in 2018. And then one day he heard something that was particularly painful for him.
I overhear my oldest son, Robert, talking about their sisters. So I asked him, hey, you have sisters? And he's like, yeah, we have sisters.
What did you think in that moment when they said, yeah, we have sisters, and they had been separated?
I thought they were lying, to be honest, because no one's told me about siblings.
But that obviously hit a chord with you, because you'd been separated from your siblings. Now, the parallels with his own young life and those of these 5 children are striking. Robert Carter was placed in foster care at the age of 13 and not destined to be adopted. So you lived with your mom for the first 13 years?
Yeah.
Dad too, or just mom?
Just mom.
What was your mom dealing with? What was she struggling with?
She was a single parent of 9, and she also had alcoholism.
Do you remember not eating some days?
No, because we always say, I was the oldest, so I always made sure we had something to eat. I would go steal from corner stores, even if it was like chips and stuff for my siblings, because we had to eat in order to survive.
Did you ever turn to drugs?
No.
Alcohol?
No.
What do you think kept you away from that?
Seeing what my mom and dad went through, how it affected them, how it affected us.
He's gonna pass it around.
It was against that background that he sought help from the foster care agency in Cincinnati, Ohio, to find the boys' missing sisters and reunite a family.
We've been through a lot, and especially me. And it's a lot of pressure being the big sibling because you have to put on a good image. And it's like, it's a lot. Because they look up to you.
The cool thing about your dad is your dad has also been in foster care. So he knows what you guys have gone through.
It helps a lot.
It
Because
helps.
some people don't understand.
But he knew what had to be done. And that is where Magistrate Regina Stargell comes in. Because Robert Carter decided he wanted to adopt all 5 brothers and sisters.
So I'm thinking, you made it out of the foster system. You're starting your own life. You're young. This is your chance to do you. And people are selfish, and I'm expecting him to do you. So why are you taking on the obligation of 5 kids? I'm like, convince me.
You didn't really have a father figure constantly in your life. So where did you learn how to be a good parent?
From not having one. From just, I give them everything I wanted, from the affection to the attention to the stuff we do together. So I just try to do everything I wanted as a child and my dad, I do to them to make sure that they have everything I wanted and more.
In court in 2020, an adorable family in waiting made the newspaper.
His kids came in dressed in finery in red and black is what I recall.
And they faced Judge Stargell's scrutiny.
I'm looking to see body language. How are the kids interacting with each other as well as the petitioners as the testimony's being taken? And I was like, this is the real deal.
The real deal. And under her court order, a family. Now, as Robert Carter watches his children joyfully play together, he also sees what may have happened had the children stayed in the foster care system.
So we're at my old apartment where I was in independent living when I was 16, by myself, coming home every day to nobody to greet me, nobody to cook me meals, no one to wake me up, say good morning or anything.
No one to welcome him home. That's what he remembers most about living in this apartment building while he finished high school. After living in 2 foster care homes, he was sent here to live on his own.
It was hard. It was one of the most depressing times of my life. Something I would never want any of my kids to go through or anything like that.
Can you tell me about some of those moments?
I probably said it was my graduation. Because when you imagine graduation, you imagine, the day of, your parents waking you up, and it's your big day. And it was none of that.
He filled his days working 3 jobs.
Stay busy so I wouldn't have to go home alone, basically.
So you work concessions at the Reds, Cincinnati Reds.
Dishwasher at Chipotle.
Dishwasher at Chipotle.
And I was a cashier at Wendy's.
As rough a childhood as you had, how were you able to turn that into such a productive adulthood?
I feel like I just use my trauma and my hurt and stuff to be my fuel to keep going and to want better and want to help people and do better in life.
It's inspiring that given all you've been through, you were able to graduate high school.
Because most foster kids don't.
When he had aged out of the foster care system at age 18, never having been adopted, he started to make sure that other people like him didn't become statistics. So he first got custody of his younger sister. Then at 21, he became the guardian to his 13-year-old brother. And then he started to take in foster children. Is you doing this trying to fill a hole in yourself?
I don't think so, because I told myself, once I start my family, nothing else is going to matter. And literally nothing else matters now that I have my family, because they're together.
Their togetherness extends to everybody pitching in at the salon, which they depend on to support their family.
It's joy in everything, I feel like, when it comes to kids. Because it's a memory. It's stuff I didn't get.
But listen, giving Mr. Carter and those kids a standing ovation. That was amazing. Amazing.
Peace, forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry Late Night Special Edition. Yes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. And we want to go ahead and get right into this general discussion. I played this video. It's from CBS this morning. And this is the type of video that you're not going to see in the Black conscious community. They like videos talking about conspiracy theories, how great they are, kings and queens, Negroes ain't about nothing, and you know, nonsense, what God gonna do and all this crazy stuff. This was a very inspiring video from CBS this morning, because here's a brother that don't have any biological children who went through the foster care system, and because of his struggle, he began to adopt his own, and then he adopted other children, and now he's 33 years old with a lot of children in his house. I mean, that's a lot of sacrifice. That's a person. I want to give him a round of applause. I have to. I have to give him a round of applause. That brother. Oh wow! Because you were here in the Black conscious community, in the Jesus community, and all these different self-righteous ass people. When it comes to abortion, oh, you shouldn't do that because that's against God. That's killing life or whatever. I said, so what are we gonna do with our children here? What are we gonna do with all these thousands of children in the foster care system? What are we gonna do with them? There are many Black conscious people who have plenty of resources. They don't adopt, they don't foster care, they don't do nothing. But they will continue to spit out their own so they can talk about, I'm doing this for my legacy. Your legacy is every child that walks the streets. It says in the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Every child in the village is yours. There are some animals, when they procreate, nobody knows who the fathers is. So all the fathers take care of all the children because nobody don't know who they fathered. But we are arrogant and we're selfish. It's all about my sperm, my blood. After a certain amount of time goes by, nobody don't give a damn about your sperm and your blood. Your own family not going to give a damn about you unless you're on the level of somebody like Michael Jackson. They might think about you for a little while. But right now, Michael Jackson is dead. Ain't nobody going to visit his grave like that. When you're gone and you're dead, you're forgotten. What they say, out of sight, out of mind. That's the reality of it. Nature only cares about the survival of a species. We should only care about the survival of us as a people. But again, we're not a people. That's why we don't think that way. We're selfish. We think about what we want. Our, me, those type of things. So I wanted to play this video because there are many of us that talk all this crap. You don't want abortion. You're against abortion, but you don't want to do nothing for these children. And again, many of us have the resources. We're in the position to adopt this child. This is a single man. He's 33 years old. He's not married. A small business. He's sharing his resources, sharing his life with 5 other children. And I wonder about this because I don't have any children either. And I was seriously thinking about doing the same thing myself. I could probably foster 2 children at a time. I've been looking at the information. I've been thinking about doing that myself. But here we are, don't have any biological children. We're single. We want to foster care. Myself and his brother, we want to foster care the children. And you have people that already have children. They can come into a family that's already established with more resources, and these suckers talk a lot of garbage and won't do nothing for the children because you don't see them. Every time you hear them talk, my biological, I want my own children. Every child is your children. In a people, every child is yours. That's why the state is responsible for orphan children because that child was born in the United States. The government is responsible for those children who don't have parents, responsible for the elderly who can't take care of themselves. That's what you do in your society. You take care of your children, you take care of your elderly. That's what you do in society because they are you, they're us. And the children are the future. And then they get angry and upset when white people or homosexual people, whoever, adopt our children. They shouldn't adopt in foster care. Your ass not doing it. So who's supposed to do it? It's really sickening. And then when you put these suckers on Front Street, they get angry and upset. What you get angry and upset for? Because you are fake? Stop talking that crap. If you don't like something, then you need to be taking part of something, an activity that will make things better as far as you're concerned. Otherwise, you should sterilize yourself. You know you don't want to take any children. You don't want that type of responsibility. Sterilize yourself. I didn't get sterilized, but I knew what to do to avoid having children because I did not want to bring babies into this world that I did not like. And I made that decision when I was a child. When I was a child, I decided not to have children. I wasn't even in puberty. I didn't even know where children come from. You hear me, Brother Taalik?
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know where children came from. I didn't even know how you make children. I said, I don't want to bring no children to this world. I didn't even know where children come from. I was 11 years old by the time I found out where children, babies come from, and I wasn't interested. And you have these suckers that have the resources talking all this crap about children, and they get angry because white people or Chinese, whoever, adopt us, and you don't do it. They have the resources. Look at all the millions of dollars you give to these scammers so they can go to Hawaii and to the Caribbean and Paris and all like that. But you don't want to give no money, support none of these people who are willing to take in our children and get these children out of the hands of sex traffickers, because that's where a lot of them end up, in the hands of sex traffickers and molesters and pedophiles. I see why they don't like Angelsnupnup7. Because they smile in your face, they're not real. They're not real with theirs. And we need to call them out. But you know what they say? It's something they say. Real recognize real, fake recognize fake. That's why there's a reason why they with these people. Because they're just as fake as these folks. How many children have Tariq Nasheed foster care or adopted? Or Sonetta? Or Young Pharaoh? Or any of these, the Moore Science Temple? They're not taking in our babies. They're not taking in our children. The people that would take in our children are the ones who don't have nothing. Just like the most charitable people are the poor and the middle class. Rich aren't charitable like that. They give just enough so they can get a nice tax write-off. And I know this from my own experience being a valet driver. The people that actually gave me tips was basically the ones that was barely making it, the middle class, the poor, that was going to the hotel. Rich people never gave me nothing. I made sure I had my days off on those days when I knew the rich folks was coming to the hotel. I didn't give a damn about Snoop Doggy Dogg and these select baseball players and football players. I didn't give a damn. Oh, that's so. I don't give a damn. I am here to valet cars. I'm here to make money. If Snoop Dogg is not going to give me a tip, I don't give a damn about Snoop Dogg being in the hotel. Or these basketball players, whoever coming to these celebrities and the mayor. Them people didn't give you a dime. And some of these folks put on a front like they have money. Don't even have no money. There was a car this luxury car pulled up to us and ran out of gas. How the hell you gonna have a luxury car, spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 on a car, and then run out of gas in front of the hotel? Embarrassing. Some of these people don't even have insurance on their car. You got a $100,000 car and don't have no insurance on it. Look, when I was trying to be an entertainer, we used to go to some of these rich, so-called rich folks' houses. These mansions look all pretty on the outside. They don't keep the grass and things cut the way it's supposed to. You go inside the mansion, and it's a mess. And then they'll tell you, talk about, oh, I'm rebuilding. What they call it? I'm refurbishing the house, whatever they call it. I forgot, restoring the house. No, nigga, you can't afford to be here. Nobody takes down Angelsnupnup7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angelsnupnup7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angelsnupnup7. But you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecued.
Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What, dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Planned Parenthood. See, a lot of this stuff we already know. We already know. After the fact, because I believe the woman, how long Margaret Sanger been dead, y'all? How long, Mark? We still talking about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood. How long she been dead? Okay, since we know all these things, what you gonna do about it? Since you know about the King Alfred plan, since you know about the eugenics, Margaret Sanger, and you know all about all this secret stuff, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to do nothing. You didn't do nothing about it when Margaret Sanger was alive. You're not going to do nothing about it now that she did. You're not going to do nothing about the King Alfred plan or any of these other secret stuff. So what the hell are you running your mouth about? They use these things only as a selling tool for their bull doo-doo ideology, because they're not going to do nothing. Nothing but fear-mongering. You better join the Black conscious community, because Margaret Sanger going to get you. Henry Kissinger gonna get you. The boogeyman gonna get you. That's all it's for, because you're not gonna do nothing about it. You're not gonna be like what's his name, Major Payne, and that little boy was scared of the boogeyman. Major Payne, there's a boogeyman in my closet. You got a boogeyman in your closet? Yep. Let's go see. So Major Payne go to the closet, take out his gun, pow, 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 pow. If there's a boogeyman in your closet, he ain't very happy now. So what you gonna do about it? Major Payne found out there was a boogeyman in the closet, took his gun, shot in the closet. He ain't very happy now. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. So what sense do it make for me to talk about the secret King Alfred plan and Margaret Sanger and all this secret stuff, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it anyway? Because you can't do nothing about it. You're not in a position to do nothing about anything except run your happy ass mouth and go to Church's Chicken and get a 2-piece. That's all you can do. And these same nothing ass folks come here and have the nerve to make mockery of the Mississippi campaign when the Mississippi campaign is designed to deal with all these things once and for all. Inspire the people, not a little group. We're going to inspire the people because you're going to invest, and this is what you get. You're going to get something for your investment. A whole state. Now, who else is talking like that? The Nation of Islam want to beg for a state. Mr. American government, could you give us 10, 12 states, you know? Because we deserve it, you know. We were slaves and everything. You don't sit your ass down. Get the hell out of here. No. We are going to use our brain because we're critical thinkers, and we develop a plan and an action. We're going to get what we want, whether they like it or not. And guess what? When they see it happening, because there ain't a damn thing they can do about it, they will begin to respect you. Damn! Them Negroes put us. That was, woo! That was something else what them Negroes did. Right now, nobody respect you. And you are on your way to be either, like Dr. Claude Anderson always said, you are on your way to be a permanent underclass, or you're on your way to extinction. Actually, extinction would be more honorable. This, what we're doing, is embarrassing. Because you claiming supreme wisdom and you so smart and you know all the secrets, like, damn, if you got it going on like that, how come your condition ain't changed? It's embarrassing. A joke. A laughing stock. A woman, a black woman that has no power, subdue us. Wow. She got her orders, according to Dr. Umar John, she got her orders from the white man. I don't know how he's controlling the black woman by telekinesis, or I don't know how these black conscious folks explain this stuff. I don't know how they control it. I don't know how they're doing it, but they brainwashing the black women, and I don't know none personally. I don't know none of these black women personally myself. Brainwashed one. Apparently, Dr. Umar Johnson knows some, and he's subdued. They have subdued the black men, and now she's strong, and now it's time for her to get her ass whooped by the white man. And so we're done because she's the last line of defense. So now we already, so Dr. Umar Johnson basically was saying, black men, we're done. We're subdued. We're done. So what do you need a school for boys for? Dr. Umar Johnson says the black man is subdued and the black woman is on top of whatever. What you need a school for boys for? Because clearly this man is not a good example for the boys going to the school because he's been whooped by a woman with pink hair. A lot of them. A lot of them wear pink hair, red, white, and blue hair. Some of them didn't even graduate out of high school. We got subdued by them. We can't beat a woman, Mr. Man, according to Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, and he represents a whole lot of folks that was cheering. They liked the video. I'm a man myself, and I got subdued. Ain't nothing like it. Now, I don't mind being subdued in some cases by a woman. I don't mind. I don't mind being very, very helpless and subdued in certain situations. But that's the reason why I wanted to make the video, because when I heard him say that, and as a soul brother, as a black man myself, I feel insulted. And I don't think the sisters, none of the sisters that I know of, think that way. I'm gonna subdue this man. I wanna punk my man out. Because I want some more crumbs from the white man's table. It goes back to survival. People are gonna do what they need to do to survive for what they want. Most of these people are out for themselves. They want their ugly ass face on TV. They want some money. They want a big house. So they sell out. That's not nothing new. So how can you say the black woman is like that? I don't see the sisters like that. As pitiful as we are, she's still trying to hang. She's still trying to follow our incompetent, pathetic ass lead, leading her and our children to nowhere. Because you let a few women that probably weren't even born in America subdue you. That's pathetic to me. But I would like for Umar Johnson I would like for him to prove and show how whatever these black women, how the white man gave them their instructions to subdue the black man. I want to know how all that happened. And chances are it's some stupid explanation, because that's not how things work. It's 40 million of us in this country. And we're trying to survive. And most of us will do what we have to do to survive. All of us have different experiences. Some of us, if it was not for white people in our life, who knows where we would have been. So how are we going to turn around and you want us to hurt the people that helped us? That's not how it works. But that's the pro-black mindset. You can't ask black people if Caucasians or some Chinese or whoever helped them in their life. You can't ask them to hate those people. And then who are you? It's not like y'all kind and generous and loving. Y'all nasty, you're profane, you're hateful, you're greedy, you're selfish, you're narcissistic. Who the hell are you? But I tell you this, if the masses of the people actually saw a group of folks rising up. See, people know when you really love them. Like a lot of children. Children know when you really love them. Even some animals. Y'all love don't last long. Soon as you say something they don't like or they disagree with, you're a coon and you're a Sambo. I used to be like that. I don't do that no more because it's stupid. It's not realistic. We live with white folks. Some of them are evil, some of them are good. That's life. The ones that should have really been complaining are dead and gone. Many of y'all never missed a meal in your whole entire life. You don't know what it means to go hungry. You don't know nothing about suffering. You've never been denied a job because of your skin color. You never suffered. You so angry, but be so upset.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy, create yourself as. You're a silly man. Here you have a clown that get on an airplane. I heard he took his family too. You travel 2,000 miles to go mess with a man that's 6'2", 6'5", or whatever Taalik Nasheed is. You travel 2,000 damn miles, and they have on camera just so that you can get slapped in the damn face. And that's wisdom. Now, of course, your flunkies would try to justify, and they would try to ride with you so that nobody don't want to hurt your feelings. That's stupid as hell. Who's going to fly 2,000 miles just so that you can get slapped in the face? You know that man don't want to see you. You went there as a troublemaker, and you got trouble. Slapping your damn face. And you got the trouble that you was looking for. And that's wisdom. That's the wisdom of the Moor. That's the scholarship of the Moor. And so now you mad. He mad now. Take your scary ass butt back on the plane, 2,000 miles back home, get on your YouTube channel and cry and justify why you didn't fight back, why you didn't slap back. Taalik Nasheed would have tore you a new butthole. That's why you didn't slap back. And you in the wrong place. You in his city. That's his turf. You lucky that's all you got was a slap. Going around, your purpose was to actually mess with that man. For what? If you want to expose somebody, just go on your corny ass YouTube channel and just tell people how he's exposing. That's all you need to do. Why are you going to? That's just like me getting on a plane, going to Mas Mariam, and I know they don't like me, to go to try to talk to Minister Farrakhan, and you will never see me again. You'll never see me again. That's stupid as hell. That's scholarship. That's wisdom. He told me, and he thought he was using me, but you're not using me. I was taking the opportunity that maybe somebody in your audience, they will latch on to what we call the real truth. But I understand that folks are here for the clown show. That was something wonderful to talk about for days. Man, I didn't get slapped. The camera showed it, you got slapped. And Taalik had a good time with it. That nigga came here, I had to beat him down. Are you really angry now? Defamation of character. Y'all not gonna do anything. Now I would tell you this, for me, I would take you to court. The video you flagged, you had the right, if you found it, it's your material. Being a low-down damn dog, you have the right to flag. You could have sent me an email, man, I don't want you to have my whatever, and I would have took it down. But you a coward just like the rest of the suckers, because you think that you can hurt me, because your wisdom and your scholarship can't do a damn thing to me. So the only thing they can do is block, is flag. I don't watch Tahaka Bay. I stopped watching, unsubscribed to Tahaka Bay long time ago. But I know you a damn scammer. I know you a trickster. And I'm going to use my voice and let the people know who will listen, because they will see themselves, because your ass ain't no different than the rest of them suckers. Expose your ass as a complicated scammer. And if you're not a scammer, you are incompetent just like the rest of the suckers. You don't know what the hell you doing. You and your Moors can't do nothing. You are part of the group trying to follow dead people. Nobody Drew Ali is dead. He's been gone. You never saw the man. And you so damn weak that you said out of your mouth, if I didn't have this dead teaching, because that's what it is, it comes from the graveyard. Y'all love to go to the graveyard and dig in the trash. The trash of the dead, not of the living. You go to the garbage dump of the dead. We're going to dig Elijah Muhammad back up. We're going to dig Martin Luther King back up. We're going to dig Elijah Muhammad back up. Y'all grave diggers. We're going to dig up, what's his name? King Martin Totten, Tuhooten, whatever his name is. Anaconum or whatever his name is. Y'all grave diggers. You want to bring the dead to the living. People you never saw, you never interacted with, don't know nothing about. And you have the nerve to make mockery of the living while you follow dead folks with your dead ass ideas from 1930 when the people were illiterate. You're not as illiterate now. You're just brainwashed by the dead. And your growth has been stunted by the stench of the dead. We learn from the past, but we're not supposed to become the past. That's not our time. This is our time. You embarrass yourself. Because I want to ask all these suckers, these pieces of trash, these dingbats, what do you get? What is the benefit from flagging people's channel? Not only mine. You can't handle the heat. I have compilation videos of people throughout the years that I saved, put them together, and people can watch folks talk negative stuff about me, because that don't bother me none. And the people, and if what they saying is true, then I expose myself, because I'm actually helping the people talking about me expose me. They're not exposing nothing. I'm not worried about it. I find it entertaining. I'm glad you're thinking about me. That's all that you have done, because I don't listen. I'm not watching Tahaka Bay channel. I saw a thumbnail, and the thumbnail was talking about Tariq Nasheed getting some artifacts from some kind of website or whatever. I didn't watch the video. YouTube is pushing you. YouTube is selling Sonetta. YouTube is selling you. YouTube is selling the Nation of Islam and More Science and Young Pharaoh. YouTube is doing that. Because you're not a threat to the establishment. You're not a threat to, as Tariq Nasheed said, you're not a threat to the dominant society. You're all a joke. They took action against slaves coming straight off the plantation because their actions to them was a threat. They took actions against our people in the 1960s because that activity was a threat. Ain't nobody taking no actions against you because you're not a threat. Over 100 channels terminated here. Why? Because we're a threat. Why are we a threat? We are a threat because we promote critical thinking. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not trying to sell you a narrative. I'm not trying to sell you a religion. I'm not trying to convert you to anything. I want you to think for yourself, right or wrong. You don't need to quote no Bible and Quran like you do, quoting dead folks. You don't know nothing. You got to read a book. Like, damn, you 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you still got to read books. Damn, you ain't learned nothing. Out of all the years you've had of life, you ain't learned nothing. You got to depend on a Farrakhan DVD. You got to learn from Tahaka Bay. And he put all the slides, all these slides on the screen. Let me show you I got receipts. Why don't you show the receipts about yourself? And that's one thing they're not going to do. Show your flaws. Show your errors. I don't have none. Well, I'm not perfect. Well, if you say you're not perfect, show your flaws. Show your errors. There's nothing. Oh, there's no wisdom. There's no scholarship in more science. It's just a church. That's all it is. Debate Angelsnupnup7. There's many people, they want to debate and get angry at me. You can't debate me. You're cut and paste.
Show me the way to the future, 'cause I am tired of the past. Some of us are just used to existing. We all know it can last.
Out of here. The Deacons of Reality put out a short video and talk about winning. I don't like losing. I really don't. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game.
Patience come, gotta move along. No one to blame, it's time to win. Don't criticize, try to realize I'm number one in the end. Oh, that's the color of success. I play to win. Oh, I play to win. There's no other color of success. I play to win. Oh, I free as a bird. It's time to spread the word.
I don't like losing. I really don't.
The sun is shining.
I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game. Because you're a loser. Of course it's not but a game because you're a loser. Anybody that play any game, you play the game because you want to win. Nobody plays a game to be a loser. Nobody.
And the cow was returned to its rightful owner. In today's entertainment news.
Your living room, as long as it's around your home. Send love to Brother Tyler, but after all is said and done, truth is, Angola, Louisiana, you're the one. We're here, I can't tell a man not to defend himself. Not at this late stage. Can't tell a man he ain't got no right to nowhere. Not in this day and age. The song may not touch a whole lot of people, persuaded by the truth. But take a look at what's going on, people.
And as always in parting, we wish you...
Come on and jam with us next week on these same stations. And you can bet your last money it's all going to be a Stone Gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and sound.